1170. The Answer.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty. Joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans in the Los Angeles Chargers.
San Diego.
Also,
only.
Wes Parker, the Millennial Man over at Whissel Realty. Before the break, we were talking about millennials and some of the low down payment options that are out there, all the way down to 0% interest. And so if you want to get...
but zero down.
Or zero down, sorry.
I just want to be safe.
Sorry
Since there's a
about
mortgage guy in here, I don't want to get in trouble.
What about the old days when you could give me negative interest, Jason? I used to miss those days.
If we keep doing Obama days and we go negative interest like Europe, yeah. If Hillary would have won, we might be at negative interest rates.
It could happen. So if you want to get connected with Wes Parker over on the Whissel Realty team, would love to get you connected. Give me a call or shoot me a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. I'll get you guys connected. And so before the break, Jason, I was talking about how I am considering moving some money around right now.
Nice. Okay, so what?
So let's talk about who are the highest paid people in the world. Who are some of the highest paid people? I'll give you a hint. They're not on the West Coast.
Hedge fund people.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do hedge funds do?
They hedge against the market. They're betting on the future markets.
So how do they do that?
Well, I couldn't explain everything,
What's the basics of hedging?
He's like, lead me on. He hasn't given me information.
I know, but we're actually going down the path. We're going down the right path. So how do you hedge?
You're predicting the future. I mean, they're betting on what they think the future markets are going to do,
right,
or what they're not going to do.
Right.
And that's how they make their bet.
Right.
So they take bets on that. So they'll bet maybe one company falls apart. They bet one company takes off. They bet real estate's going to take off. This is going to go on.
And do they typically put all their eggs in one basket, or do they hedge their bets by spreading those eggs around?
Of course, they hedge their bets. They
little
spread
Easter
the
reference there, little timely Easter reference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you do an Easter egg hunt, you put all the eggs in one area,
Are you guys ready for Easter, the little one?
Oh, so unfortunately we got to leave Coachella early so we can come home for Easter. Yeah. So we're coming home early so that we can spend Easter at home with Nixon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, what hedge funds do, they spread all their eggs out. So I am looking to do the same thing right now. So I do not believe that San Diego is at the peak in values right now. But a wise man told me you're never going to time the peak without being lucky, and you're never going to time the valley without being lucky. But as long as you sell close to a peak and buy close to a valley, at the end of the day, you're going to be in good shape. So I'm at a point right now where instead of buying more property in San Diego for rental purposes, it's not really making a lot of sense right now.
Because the prices are so high.
Because the prices are so high.
2, 3, and 4 unit properties are going through the roof. Like, I've never seen it this high.
Which is crazy.
So the rents are driving that.
Yeah, and it's extremely difficult to cash flow in San Diego right now. So what I'm looking at doing is I got lucky and bought a decent amount of property near the bottom. Maybe not exactly the bottom, but near it. And now we're near the top. So what area
you like?
I am exploring, but what I'm looking to do is sell some properties here, cash in on that equity.
No good millennial agent, yeah.
Yeah, cash in on some of that equity here, and then move that equity.
1031 it.
Yes, and then move that equity into some growing emerging markets where prices are significantly lower, but you can get...
I sent you a couple things on India when I was out there a couple weeks ago. You didn't really look at it. I don't know if you got it.
Buy in the middle. Nobody wants to live in India.
Well, we could.
Only old people like you and your father-in-law.
$700 a room this weekend.
Yeah, but then you're paying that $700 back to the HOA.
Right?
Probably if the HOA. There's a lot of HOAs down there. That is the downside to Indio and Palm Springs.
Palm Springs, the HOAs are incredible.
The CCNRs do not want you doing Airbnbs. They don't want all that stuff. And that's what you mean by paying it back, right? They probably fine you. But so where's the area?
So a couple of the markets that I'm keying in on right now is Oklahoma City.
What?
And Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow.
So what I'm looking at is here in San Diego, when you're looking at investment property, the easy way to determine a basic return on investment is what's called a cap rate, which is a relation of the net income and the price. The higher the cap rate, the better the return.
Gotcha.
Well, here in San Diego, buying apartment buildings, I'm literally getting properties emailed to me that are selling at 2, 3, 4 caps. which means let's say you bought a building for $1 million, you're only getting a 2 to 3% return on that investment, maybe 4%, in a good one. You could take your money and put it into some of these other markets and get 2 to 3 times that return on the investment. So I'm looking to hedge.
You may not get
bets.
the appreciation return.
Exactly.
That's the downside, but you are going to get a better cash flow.
Exactly.
And if you want to hold on to property long term, you're probably looking to get $50-100 a month return at some point in your future, so you can retire.
Exactly.
And that's a good way to look at it.
And so that's where the hedging comes from. Is you have property here in San Diego that's high appreciation, low cash flow, and then you hedge that with high cash flow, low appreciation properties in other areas. So just putting the seed out there, and we'll talk about this more as this starts to unfold.
Here's something I did want to talk about, since we talked about it, and we're running up. Immigrants, key driver to home ownership and possibly rent. Do you believe the illegal immigrants that are in the United States are causing our rents and prices to possibly be escalated? And if for some reason Trump asks them all to leave and gets rid of them all, do you think there's going to be any hit to the real estate market, both rents and values?
Absolutely. And same thing with the vacation rentals. If that disappears, that's going to have an effect on a lot of the coastal properties. So those are a couple things to watch. So, and again, one of the things we want to do here on Whissel Wednesdays is just kind of give you some of the leading indicators, things before they happen, before you hear about them in the media, so that you can make an educated decision when it comes to your real estate and mortgage needs. If you want to get connected with myself, with Jason Hall at Team Home Loans, Wes Parker at Whissel Realty, we'd love to connect with you. You can always call or text us 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. Thank you so much for tuning in to Whissel Wednesdays. We'll talk to you next week.
Hey, stay tuned. We're going to have another show that we missed last week. We'll be right back.